tower control on Sturgeon Shipyard.
Honestly, I really like this map mode combo. It's one of the strongest, I think, for this map. And we do see Matt here playing for them, so we do have a sub for Element R. Matt is a good pick for that. He's a very strong sniper.
Not only just a good pick. Let me just extrapolate on a couple of things here. We got Matt. He's known for his long range. Sturgeon has a really strong snipe position. As you can clearly see, Matt just sets up right now, being able to provide as much just coverage to the rest of the team in Element R as they continue to push the tower. However, 3 players do go down, and now just like that, Matt's going to be forced to go on the defensive.
He is. He did, however, get out there just in time to place a few mines down that should, hopefully, mark some players on the enemy team and give him some targets.
And just like that, Matt's going to have to retreat. Sigrix right now getting in position, trying to see what they can actually do. Being careful not to get picked off by that Stingray. However, does manage to get picked off by Amazing. And just like that, 2 players actually do go down in Element R. This is going to be Slime Boy's time to shine. They go ahead and keep pushing up. Amazing does take out Matt.
Such an important pick on Matt there. Such an important pick.
Not just such an important pick. Amazing again manages to climb up and gets triple right there. Wow.
All right, well then, we're off rolling.
Yeah, look at this this really strong aggression being provided by Slime Boys. Clearly, they're a lot more experienced than we gave them credit for. Right now, Etsy actually trying to pull up from the left side of the map right here, trying to see if he can actually get a pick. And of course, that's going to be a little bit difficult, but manages to take out Toucan in the process. The Jet is right there, just kind of in the back lines. Does get taken out by Etsy, of course, and now with 1 player left on Slime Boys. Slime Boys is going to be forced to go on the retreat, and this is going to be Element R's turn to retaliate.
Yeah, Etsy is moving in here and taking some turf here in their court, which is going to be really important because if they're going to get that tower moving, and it is moving, they need this court here. And again, another full wipe for Slime Boys, which is going to give Element R even more ground to move in.
Yeah, that's unbelievable what I'm seeing right here. Etsy is absolutely flawless, or like absolutely fearless, pushing up to the enemy base. Had to deal with that Blob Lobber, but does manage to get the trade versus the ball point.
Kill streak?
Yeah, and not only that, that's another second full wipe right here coming up by Element R. Matt still actually pushing up on the tower, has 5 points left. He's going to be able to do it. Of course, with that Blob Lobber pressure, not going to be enough to actually push Matt off the tower. But of course, with that game, Element R is going to be able to claim their first victory, even after that shaky start.
Yeah, and honestly, that was really well played on their part. I think they were a little bit caught off guard, especially when you come up face to face against a comp like Slime Boys that had 2 mid lines and a back line. It's always a little bit hard to get your footing at the beginning against that. But that said, once you get that aggression ball rolling, once they get warmed up and into games, things get moving a little bit more quickly.
Man, like, okay, personal bias here, but personal experience, I guess. I do feel that Element R does have this habit where at first they might seem a little bit shaky, but you cannot sleep on them whatsoever. They just, once they get the ball rolling, they are absolutely unstoppable. Slime Boys are going to have to take this into consideration. They cannot go lightly on Element R. Otherwise, they're going to be able to lose a second game. And that's going to be very critical, of course, as we head into Game 2, which is going to be Splat Zones on Snapper Canal.
And here especially, we need to see them shake up that comp a little bit. I don't think that we're going to see a whole lot of favor for a double midline backline comp. It's a little bit too much on the mid and not enough on the front to be able to hold a zone, especially that's so interrupted and small here.
For sure. And now, we do see often on this map weapons like Hydra or Ballpoint being very important. Of course, here we go. Our Slime Boys actually does manage to actually bring in a Ballpoint. And then, of course, on the side of Element R, they don't actually have that much like a heavy Splatling or a Hydra. But, of course, they do have Matt still on the leader, which is going to cause a fair amount of threat.
Yeah, that does take away a little bit from their paint comp, though. So they're going to have to work hard to keep up with the paint, especially from the Squelchies there and from the Lobber.
Right now, Slime Boy is actually positioning on the right side of the map right now. Mickey does manage to pull up that bomb rush, does manage to use it, has to be careful, gets picked off by Matt. Critical play right there. Of course, Matt, just like that, gonna be able to take back the zone. Of course, even if there's a little rain, no big deal. He's just gonna be able to set up on the mid right here, and the rest of Element R is just gonna be able to push into the base like this.
And now this is really dangerous because Matt on top mid there with the E-leader, I don't know.
Sigrix coming up absolutely huge. Full wipe coming in for Element R once again. Slime Boys is going to have to actually redouble their efforts here. They cannot get wiped constantly in these games. Otherwise, it's going to be absolutely so hard for them to be able to come back. Cigarettes right now in hot pursuit does manage to take out one player with the help of his teammate. Of course, Milano right now, just sitting in the very start of the base right here, managed to dodge all sorts of fire, just trying to keep the rest of Slime Boys pinned in their base. Takes out Toucan, and of course, there's a jumper right there. Takes out the second jumper, dodges the fire coming in from the third player. This might actually be a triple, and Milano actually manages to do it.
And that is going to clutch them the game.
That's going to be it.
That's going to be it.
My goodness.
A little bit at the end there, we saw in the middle of the match, so a lot of really good pairing up and teamwork on the part of Slime Boys. But it looks like as their nerves maybe got to them a bit, as that match went on, as the timer kept ticking, that they fell apart a little bit in that aspect. And I don't know if that's it speaks to maybe the lack of experience, because that's something that's really hard for new players to work on, is to be able to hold your cool and to be able to push forward together. I mean, we still struggle with that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Just even from our own personal experience on Vitamin C, usually one of the things that we try to work on a lot is the fact that we don't want to get too spread out. Usually spreading out your players is really, really bad, because that way, one-on-one, usually a lot of your players get picked off, you got full wiped, and then it's just the enemy team just goes ahead and goes for a push. And this cannot absolutely happen at all. If you have any sort of trickling going into this game 3 for Clan Blitz on Muscle Forge, it's just going to be absolutely detrimental for the rest of Slime Boys. They need to be able to actually group up and make sure that they don't get wiped as they did in games 1 and 2.
And now I believe they can do it, honestly. We've seen a lot of really good teamwork and pairing up throughout the matches. We just need to see them hold that cool a little bit in these high tense situations. To be fair, playing on stream is always stressful.
It is absolutely stressful.
It's always stressful. And because to be on a stage, you have people watching you.
Yeah.
It's stressful.
It is very stressful, knowing that you're actually on the camera and every play that you make actually does get viewed, of course, by the audience.
Yeah.
And of course, we have the live audience right here. We have a massive crowd that's just kind of piling around here and just kind of taking a look at Splatoon and just watching the games. Like, we have a bunch of good games here.
Yeah.
Now,
what I always like to do is just when we get to these situations where we're 2 games down and things are getting a little tense, you just tell your team to take a deep breath, straighten your backs, freeze your posture, and get back in. Because
exactly.
you can't afford to not.
Yeah.
And so you're gonna do it regardless, and it's gonna be fun.
Having any sort of foul attitude, or sorry, not attitude, just kind of like letting it affect your mood does actually affect your performance significantly.
Absolutely.
But I do think that Slime Boys does have potential. They can actually take this, and they are going to go ahead and go into this Clan Blitz game. Hopefully they may be able to actually take a victory right here. But of course, Element are just on an unstoppable right here as they go ahead and go into their game 3.
I am really interested here seeing Cigarettes playing Squiffer.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't mention that earlier. And of course, now that it's brought the forefront right here, Cigarettes does manage to take out 2 players. But of course, Bubba does manage to end that kill streak as quickly as possible. Of course, Matt, coming up from the left side right here, does manage to actually take out Amazing. That's going to be the rest of Element R getting a very clean sweep and being able to get the dunk on top of it.
That does look like the end of that push, though. Matt didn't quite make it in time to get that glam in. That said, beautiful shots here from Mickey.
Yeah, Mickey actually coming up huge right here. Of course, getting the bomb rush to be able to cover up as much turf as possible back for the enemy team, or sorry, back for their own team. But of course, Mickey has a little bit of a target in the form of that football, but does manage to take out Milana. This actually might be the opportunity that Slime Boys needs, considering they have took out 2 players. It's going to be quite even right now. Mickey's still dodging left and right, trying to see what they can actually do to actually secure that midsection right here of the map.
That Fizzy taking him out, though, that's really unfortunate. I mean, what they did manage to do here, they did manage to push Element R out. They did manage to get a few clams in for the meantime, and they did manage to take some of that mid. We just need to see those efforts redouble, and they can do it.
They absolutely can do, but of course, Sigrex coming up huge right here with a Squiffer. Was in perfect position to be able to actually push in that power climb, but does manage to get taken out by Toucan. Right now, Toucan with that ball point actually manages to put up a little bit of a defensive play right here. Has to cover a little bit of ground on the left side for the rest of Slime Boys so they can actually push up. Gets Etsy in the process.
And this is that teamwork I was talking about. We're getting Amazing and Toucan here, pairing up, taking out opponents together and moving together, and it's beautiful to see.
Yeah, and just like that, 2 players actually do go down for Element R. They just respawn. Matt right now just kind of dodging left and right, making sure dodging left and right from the bombs with that power climb in tow. Of course, Matt is a little bit of a target right now, but throwing fizzies from a safe distance and then looking for an opportunity to be able to push into the enemy base.
And it looks like they were just waiting for that last special. They now have 4 specials. 2 are popped. The other 2, I'm sure, are coming soon.
Oh, here comes that rain cloud. 2 players actually do go down for Slime Boys. This is going to be the opportunity that Element R needs. They managed to get 2 dunks right there, and as they break the barrier, Matt right now actually pushing up to the right side of the map, does throw the fizzy, and does have that splashdown in tow. This is a good opportunity to use the splashdown. Takes down Toucan, and amazing, beautiful play actually coming in from Matt.
Another football jumping and not going to make it in time, unfortunately, for that basket to stay open. Matt did his absolute best trying to do that. They're going to have to back up and wait for that basket to drop.
Oh, man. Okay, that's got to count for something, you know, when you actually get all these beautiful plays, but at the very last second, you're not actually able to extend the points for the rest of your team. However, that's not going to be a problem. Cigarettes actually pushing in with the rest of the Squiffer. Baller actually comes in, trying to camp out the rest of the people in the base. This is going to be absolutely rough. Takes a bump in the process. Hello, how are you doing?
A little bit cheeky there.
A little bit cheeky. Ooh, beautiful snipe.
Cigarettes getting in danger here, going down to the players of Slime Boys. It looks like our colors. Okay, yeah.
It's just an absolute war zone. Just all this happening back and forth right now.
I don't even know whose base we're in anymore.
Yeah, but you know what? I do have to hand it to Element R. It seems like they are very well aware of the fact that they're so well established that they can go ahead and make these gutsy plays. Milano right now does manage to take out Toucan and gets enough clams to make that power clam dunk.
It doesn't look like there's going to be any more coming out of that push, but that added pressure, especially in clam blitz, is really important. You want to keep that pressure up, you want to keep them on their toes, you want to keep them guessing where you're coming from.
And this is exactly what I was talking about with regards to the war zone right here. Just the bomb rush and just a whole plethora of specials coming out from each side. I do believe there's probably an inkjet happening or somewhere. No, there's no inkjet right now. But for a second, I actually thought there was an inkjet. But anyways, right now, both teams just kind of vying for this midsection right here. Cigarettes right now does have the baller in play. Just managing to just back up a little bit because, of course, the rain cloud is actually coming into the enemy base. But they're still looking really good.
Interesting choice here to opt to use the rain cloud to take mid, and same with the bomb rush instead of using it to push. Now, they really needed that control. They cannot push without that control, and they can't push forward unless they're forward, you know? 3-player.
Oh, that's going to be another full wipe coming in. Slime Boys does go down. Matt's going to be able to
25 seconds of this match. This is getting gently clocked.
Yeah, this is going to be absolutely critical. Of course, Element R sitting so pretty with those 2 power clans right here. They have no care in the world. But of course, Matt is going to be inching ever closer to the goal. Actually decides, you know what, I'm not going to go to the roof. Goes to the right side of the map. Throws those fizzies, being able to try to see if they can actually take out Bubba. Does manage to do so, and that's going to be it. They break the barrier. 5 seconds left on the clock. Right now, Matt applying so much pressure to the enemy base and actually takes out Mickey. That's going to be it. Element R coming up absolutely huge with a 3-0 victory over Slime Boys.
And, I mean, Element R just here demonstrating the strength that we were speaking of before the match even started. They are an incredible team that works incredibly well together, especially with that aggression. They're so hard to stop once they get that ball rolling, and they played beautifully.
You can say that again.